The waters of the Everglades once flowed slowly south from the Kissimmee chain of lakes just south of present-day Orlando through the meandering Kissimmee River Valley to the liquid heart of the Everglades, Lake Okeechobee. During the rainy season, the lake, known as Big Water by the Seminole Indians, would then swell and water overflowed its banks and flowed south through the Everglades. This was nature untouched. Today, South Florida's water flow is highly managed to meet the needs of more than 9 million residents and millions of visitors. Because of this, too little water flows south like it once did, and too much precious water is flushed to tide. While we cannot return the system to what it was before development, progress is being made each day to better balance the ecosystem's needs with the quality of life for people in South Florida. Restoration efforts by the South Florida Water Management District and its partners share a goal of sending more water south. The concept is clear, but not simple to achieve. Portions of the Kissimmee River that were turned into a straight canal are returning to their historic meandering flow. But the water flow must still be managed to prevent flooding homes and businesses. Lake Okeechobee's natural banks were replaced with the Herbert Hoover Dike in the 1930s, following devastating hurricanes resulting in a massive loss of life. Today, the Herbert Hoover Dike protects communities from flooding. The management of the lake serves multiple purposes: public safety to prevent flooding, water needs for people and the environment, navigation and recreation, and its own ecological health. Water managers must balance these needs daily, rain or shine, storm or calm. To balance these needs, scientists and engineers follow an operating plan developed in 2008, known as the Lake Okeechobee Regulation Schedule, or LORS 08. This schedule lays out how the lake's level is managed based on the time of year, weather forecasts, supply demands, ecological health, and the capacity of the structures to move water where it's needed. While many of these factors can vary on any given day, there are several considerations that must be made while we work to get more water south. First, the structures that move water south from Lake Okeechobee have a fixed capacity to move water. Once water has left the liquid heart of Florida, it travels through a network of canals, each with its own capacity limit. Send too much, and flooding can occur. Send too little, and the environment suffers, and water users cannot get the water they need. Water is also the lifeblood of the Everglades, and it must be clean. The next consideration is the ability of the stormwater treatment areas, called STAs, to clean the water. Water is moved through a series of expansive human-made wetlands that use natural vegetation to remove nutrients from the water. While highly effective, these wetlands also have a maximum capacity to keep their plants healthy. So do the pumps that move water in and out of the STAs. As you can imagine, send too much or too little, and the wetland does not function properly. Once it's clean, water is then moved into the Central Everglades, home to what most people think of when they think of the Everglades. The Central Everglades are expansive sawgrass wetlands where the right levels of water continue to be important. These wetlands, also known as the water conservation areas, have capacity limits and conveyance limits. Only so much water can move through the Central Everglades at a time. An array of wildlife also call these wetlands home, as do remnant Everglades tree islands. Too little or too much water alters the cycle of life here. And at the Central Everglades border, are some of the most heavily populated communities in the state, like Boca Raton, Coral Springs, and Miami Lakes. Even when the conditions are right in the central Everglades, the road to delivering this clean, fresh water where it's most needed, Everglades National Park, remains a challenge. Once a symbol of the progress for South Floridians, Tamiami Trail's roadway still inhibits the flow of water south. Now a series of bridges and gates are helping restore the historic flow patterns to help get water from the central Everglades into Everglades National Park. Many considerations go into decisions about getting water into the park. There must be enough water in the central Everglades to get water into Everglades National Park. And if there is enough water to get water into the Everglades National Park, water managers still must consider things like flood protection for the communities in the western Miami-Dade County and the breeding season of the federally endangered Cape Sable seaside sparrow. Throughout the entire South Florida system, managing water is a challenging task. From the Kissimmee chain of lakes to the very southern tip of the state, the South Florida Water Management District's mission remains the same: to safeguard and restore South Florida's water resources and ecosystems, to protect our communities from flooding, and to meet the region's water needs while connecting with the public and stakeholders.